Well, good morning and welcome to Coffee with the Pastor. Uh, we're looking at Paul. Paul has been arrested in Jerusalem. There was a plot to kill him, so they have sent him to the Roman palace in Caesarea. That's where the Roman governors stay. It's in Caesarea. He's been before Felix. Felix has the chief priests and them come out and present their case against him. He really doesn't find anything wrong with Paul, but he keeps him in jail because the Jews are happy that he's being kept in jail. So he keeps Paul in jail for over 2 years. And now there's a new Roman governor, Festus, and he's going to have to figure out what to do with Paul. And so he tells the chief priests that, of course, they're wanting him to be moved back to Jerusalem, because they have a plot to kill him on the way. Interesting belief about keeping the Torah. Very real. One of the commandments is thou shalt not murder. But they want to get him back coming towards Jerusalem so they can kill Paul. And so the new governor Festus says, if y'all want to try him again, you come back and I'll rule on it. And so they come back, and the chief priests bring a lawyer, and he pleads the case, but they can't prove anything. They can't prove anything because Paul's innocent. But they're insisting that Paul be moved back to Jerusalem, and Festus says, well, you agree with that? Well, Paul, I think, has sniffed out that fact that they want to kill him, and so he said no. And so he appeals to Caesar. And every Roman citizen had that right to appeal to Caesar. And so he's going to go to Rome and be before the court of Caesar. And then we have a new person come upon the scene. It says the next day, Agrippa and Bernice came with great pomp and entered the audience room with the high-ranking officers and the leading men of the city. At the command of Festus, Paul was brought in. Festus said, King Agrippa and all who are present with you, you see this man. The whole Jewish community has petitioned me about him in Jerusalem and here in Caesarea, shouting that he ought not to live any longer. I found he had done nothing deserving of death, but because he made his appeal to the emperor, I decided to send him to Rome. But I have nothing definite to write to his majesty about him. Therefore, I have brought him before all of you, and especially before you, King Agrippa, so that as a result of this investigation, I may have something to write. For I think it is unreasonable to send on a prisoner without specifying the charges against him. And so, Festus can't really find anything wrong with him, certainly nothing deserving of death like the Jewish folks are wanting. And so, he has King Agrippa come. Now, who's King Agrippa? King Agrippa is the grandson of Herod the Great, the one who killed the children and the baby boys in Bethlehem. Herod the Great had 3 sons that they divided the kingdom up with. Had one in Judea and one up in Caesarea around Tiberias and all like that, and another one in Decapolis. King Agrippa, his dad was the king in charge of Judea. That'd be Jerusalem, Bethlehem, in that area. And so this is his son that was in charge of that area. And when he was in Rome, at the age of 17, I guess he was studying in Rome, his dad died. And the emperor, I believe it was Claudius at that time, wanted to make Agrippa the king, just take his dad's place, but his advisors just said no. Let's keep that under a Roman province, under a Roman governor. He's too young. You can send him back later. And so he came back, and he was coming back as king, but he was going to be more in Syria, Philippi, Caesarea, not this Caesarea, but another Caesarea that they had there, named after Caesar Philippi. And apparently he had come to the Roman palace with his sister Bernice. Now Bernice is an interesting story too. Bernice was obviously the daughter of Agrippa, and he gave Bernice to Philip, his brother, as a wife. And she actually married her uncle. She had 2 children with him, and I believe he died. And then she was given to the king of Syria, somewhere around like that. And she either left him or he died or something, but she's back now living with her brother, Agrippa. And so she's with him. And so they come to visit, and so Festus says, hey, I've got this guy that you need to hear. I don't understand the Jewish customs as well as you. Listen to this guy and see if you can bring some charges. I got to send him to Rome because he's appealed to Caesar, but I need to send charges with him. Listen to his case, and then we'll decide that. And tomorrow, we're going to look at what Paul said to Agrippa and his sister Bernice. Very interesting times there for Paul. I'll remind you where he was being kept. Go with me to the Holy Land sometime, and you'll see that. That's the probably where he was in jail, in that area right there. And about a pretty nice view if he had a window, which I doubt that he did, but that's where Paul spent over 2 years in jail there. Well, I hope you have a great day, and tomorrow we'll take a look at what Paul says to Agrippa and Bernice. Blessings upon you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.